All right, cyber traders, welcome on back here this Tuesday afternoon. Got to clear the water from my mouth there. Great to have Sam still with us here, Felix, Kathleen, and all of our students live inside our live trading room. Leda, Pablo, Wayne, Ravina, Tony, and all of us just joining us right now. Great to have all of us back there. All of us back on social media, Facebook Live, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, the works. Great to have all of us here collectively. So markets are free falling right now, right? Big drop heading into this afternoon meeting. So, with that said, it could be a good opportune time to find some shorts. I was just trying to scan around before this meeting started, and I stumbled upon Shopify. I mean, it's down over 5%, moving really well at the S&P here. Recently, just broke under 59, a whole number level. Hey, for right now, I could just put this on our side list. Not really even the main list just yet, but I'll definitely come back to it at the end. If we don't really find as many good shorts to work with at this point, then I'll be more inclined to follow this. Right? I mean, just decent one to start off with. Now, with that said, though, I mean, hey, although the markets are dropping now, I mean, from earlier and perhaps even at this point, there could be a few stocks that are going against the grain, still moving up at the highs kind of on their own, accord. So let's just go from top to bottom here. We ended up conducting our live workshop just earlier today, Traders Talk, inside the Cyber Group room. The recording of that will be posted on the student portal probably later on this evening. And we'll have a couple of tiny little 2-minute clips on our YouTube channel. So just make sure that you're subscribed there. But CWBR ended up having a crazy pop, more so heading into like the late morning, early afternoon time there. You could see ended up just re-breaking and then making the larger pop. There we go. Thought my pre-market charting here was off. So ended up having a nice pop over 5 off the highs there, and really has been kind of holding well for the meantime right now, inching back on up here. Perhaps it could run even higher. I just think it's up so much percentage-wise. It's trading so much volume right now on the day, where normally prior to, today, it really wasn't trading anything. So even this, I'm a little hesitant on just committing to right away. I'll put this on the side list, come back to it if we need to. If it's pushing up even more, then I'll be more inclined to follow it. HTCR, another stock from earlier today. We did really well in this trade from pre-market into the open. Then certainly afterwards, it made the better breakout off it too. I took a couple losses early in pre-market on this trade, and then also a loss on another stock, PACW, just after the open. I ended up making my money back on PACW and then some. Ended up making my money back on HTCR and then some as well. But it's to say, I mean, even I just wasn't expecting this to make the real big push over 275, 270-ish historical area. This ended up just really breaking off from that price pretty nicely, heading into the mid-morning, moved up a lot higher. So, hey, a stock that's easy to leave some money on the table for. But if you're leaving money on the table, it goes to show at least you're taking some money off the table, right? So you had to be prepared, know where the big money was trading at going into the open for this stock, but it led to a great trade. Now at this point, looks like it's pretty much done for here. So definitely pass on from this trade. The SHPH actually coming off our weekly workshop Traders Talk just earlier. It had pulled back this stock, had a nice pop heading into the early to mid morning, just after 10 a.m. Took advantage of this run, another stock where it was easy to leave some money on the table for this trade, but ended up making the next leg up actually heading into the early afternoon. So I wasn't even expecting this, but broke out once more off of 2, ended up even breaking a new high. But yeah, at this point now, what goes up comes back down. We see that on the daily chart, weekly chart here, otherwise just the historical charts as I call it. What goes up comes back down. You can clearly see it on the historical charts as well as the intraday there. OCEA. You could probably say that on pretty much everything else that's up big on the gainer side at this point. LCF or LFCR, my dyslexia getting in the way there, ended up leading to a nice. Actually, we didn't really call this one out as much. LFCR, I don't think I'd call this one out really as much at all. Maybe Rich posted something about it. Michael at 1046, one of our students, Michael D. At 1046, he wrote LFCR at the high of the day, but even at that point, it looked pretty thinly traded, pumped up pretty nicely. But actually, truth be told, we had missed out on this trade actually. IDAI, another cheap stock, ended up having a nice pop earlier today, but that's all there was to it there. Lower high as of now. All right, I'll probably find more on the loser side here at this point with the way the markets are moving right now. But well, just kind of skimming down the rest of the gainers list at first. We got a bunch of cheapies here for right now. Stocks below $1 that I'm not really ever interested in really following. So just trying to kind of skip over those here. IOVA, familiar name, not really doing a whole lot right now. Pack W, perhaps could be a good short if you're able to get the shares. I mean, just the last couple of days, it was pretty strong on the way up. So it'll go one of two ways. It's either going to show continued strength against the markets and just kind of consolidate lower as the markets drop faster. Or if this is the turning point where this becomes a lot more bearish compared to the SPY, you're going to see a faster break, right? For right now, it's hard to borrow on my end. If you can get the shares to short, it could be worth watching. Definitely a good stock to put on your side list at minimum. Always tradable. I feel the stock is just good liquidity, good volume. Got pretty slow after a bit after the initial crash, expectedly so with that. But then after the drop off more, a nice little rebound. It's retained its volatility pretty nicely from last week. All right, so let's see if there's anything looking even better on the loser side, as good if not better. You got the MVST trade. I mean, if anything, filling a gap actually from a couple weeks back seemingly here. It's actually easy to borrow on my platform, but a little too close to the ground floor for my liking, so I'll skip over that. I just want to show this. I'm going to skip over it as well, this ACHV. Actually, you know what? No, pardon me. Pardon me there. I'm sorry. I was tripping myself up here. I thought for some stupid reason, I just read this really fast. It goes to show my dyslexia here. 1.63, 6.14. I'm mixing my numbers up. I thought this was a dollar stock. I was actually just going to show this to move on from it. Wow, I'm happy I kind of looked at this with a second eye there. So $6.10. It's just got some pretty thin volume on the book, though. That is the concerning part. That's what makes this just less tradable, in my opinion. It's at the lows. It's definitely not too close to the ground floor. But though, I mean, if the spreads were better, or if the liquidity was better, rather, I should say, I would definitely be more keen to follow it. Damn, I'll tell you right now, folks, we're looking at my notepad right now. I have 3 stocks that I wrote down on the side list. I had 0 on the main list so far. So, hey, definitely at this point, Shopify, I could kind of slip on there at this stage, see if there's anything looking even better than Shopify as a short, perhaps. BJ is dropping off, down more percentage-wise, but pretty expensive. The liquidity's bad there. There we go. So we're going to put Shop on the main list at this stage, the stock we started this meeting off with. Will also slip on there now at this point too, dropping off pretty steadily. What else we got here? Laser has been kind of a side list stock, but hard to borrow for me here today. ZM, I think, is Zoom. There we go. Nice drop off today on the Zoom. It is pretty liquid for the price. I do like that. And it is down enough percentage-wise where we could give it a look. Should this hold underneath 66 here, then I think there could be a lot better of a short here heading into the close. So, you know what? I'll add it to. 3 decent stocks on the way down moving with the market. Here's a short. Oh, you know what's funny? I'm not going to name names. I never do. But, I say this in relation to outside of cyber trading. I was on Instagram earlier today. Let's just put it that way. You got a couple of these stupid social media influencers. I do not consider myself such. It's just to say that you have a couple of these people that try and lure traders into these pump and dump stocks, these super low float, low volume stocks. Now, hey, we trade a couple low float, low volume stocks. But if you heard me even during this meeting, you've heard me kind of refrain myself from following certain trades for that very reason. I saw someone on Instagram from another, we'll say school, and they were saying, yeah, my best trade of the day was on this BIOC stock. And, they posted a little reel, a little video of their level 2 and their platform. And I just saw the chart. I'm like, holy smokes, this thing is no one's trading it aside from this person. That's how thinly traded it was. Well, that was maybe about 2 hours ago that I kind of stumbled upon that post on Instagram, right? Jeez. This thing took a huge hit after, and that's exactly why we don't try and trade these pieces of crap type of stocks. And that's putting it kindly, because these are the stocks that you can get just sucked into an instant bag hold, and no one ever wants to be in that position. Of course, we do trade some very volatile stocks here at Cyber Trading, but it's all built around liquidity. If there's no one trading the stock, then how could you possibly expect to sell your shares even if you're up? So saying that, this thing was a nightmare. I don't name names with other companies out there, but I'm sure that you could probably find it. All right, so let's see if there's anything else looking good as a short, if anything. That's pretty crazy of a move here on this BIOC. Let's see. Got here from the Benzinga Pro right now, just looking at my scanner there. I mean, I'm going from the gainers list first. So really, if there's anything that I missed, IOVA trying to pop back up. Pretty timely, moving back on up to $9. Pretty liquid. I like the liquidity. And yeah, I mean, why not? We have 3 stocks on the way down, moving with the market. And we have this stock kind of holding its own, though. You know, good spread, good volume. MNK. We're moving up. But liquidity is pretty bad there. It already popped and dropped back from the end of last week into Monday. So we've learned our lesson on that one, it seems like. XCLA, same deal. Reverse stock split. Up and down it went already. All right. Let me check the loser side right now. BTU. Down 2+%. It's at the lows. You know, nice sideless stock that could drop with the market there. China ETF, just want to check for reference right now. Yin down big right now. So maybe some China stocks looking pretty good as a short, perhaps. NEO not down anything. Lee, down 3+%, not really enough. Billy, down a little bit more. It's at the lows. Out of all of them so far, I wouldn't mind following this at least. Just really tradable. And if the China markets are very weak here, then that could be a good opportunity, perhaps. Anything else that you folks got from me here? Maybe other stocks that I may have missed? I'm just going to check on YouTube and our social media streams right now. I'll type my email address in early for you folks there. Any questions or trades in which you'd like to go over on the side, feel free to shoot me a quick email, josh@c2trading.com. Also, make sure that you're subscribed right to our YouTube channel, especially if you're not joining us on YouTube right now. If you're on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, etc., go right to youtube.com/cybertradingu and hit that big red subscribe button. It'll give you the ability to know when we're going live, when we're not, the morning and afternoon meetings, and perhaps a couple sneak live streams in between. All right, so let me just go back to my side list here. We already put Shopify as a potential short, just dropping with the market heading into the close on our list. Go through a couple more for right now, just that I've been following up with the last week or two. SQ, AMD, could be a decent short. As expensive as AMD is, liquidity is awesome on this trade. Big fan of that. Just the price that kind of drives me away more often than not. CWBR, getting back to this, I still stand by saying that this is just very heavily traded, overly traded, you could say. It's already up too much. If it ends up breaking over 6, I think that there could be a trade, but even at that point, you'd want to set a very tight stop. Not even 6, actually. Let's take a look, because if anything, if you're looking at the TradeStation matrix, very important to note right now, actually, not even $6, but $5.80. Probably a halt print level that we had there, but $5.80 was really the key level just before. And, well, it just broke above it again. That could have been the chance. This could have been our shot. The fact it just pulled back under that price as quickly as it broke above it, especially with all the false breaks prior, if not then when? And, it's already made such a big move so far. So, you know what? I'm going to pass on this trade for right now. If it ends up popping higher later on, as Rich is on the mic, then he'll probably look to call it out. ACHV, getting back to this. I wish it was more liquid, but I will put this, on our list, though, for the meantime. Just at the lows, $6 stock, double bottom at 6. Could be a pretty good short. All right, so folks, in total, listen, the markets are dropping. Don't try and force a trade out there on the way up if it's not, there for the taking. So, the only thing from the gainer side that looked even slightly attractive was that IOVA, and hopefully that holds a lot better from this point. But, otherwise, hey, if there's anything else that looks good, like I just said before, Rich will call it out once we resume the audio commentary back inside our live trading room. So for Leda, Grant, Michael, John, Chuck, Ravina, Phil, and all of us there live right now, Felix included, hey, I'll be chatting with you folks up until 3:30. You're going to be on a coaching call coming up. So if there's anything that myself and my students see, we'll look to try and, tell you ahead of time and see if we could all take it here. But otherwise, best of luck trading going into the market close, and we'll catch back up with everyone come tomorrow morning. Take care.